All right, ladies and gents, final medium, watercolor pencil. All right, so watercolor pencils work just like regular colored pencils, except instead of having like wax pigment in there, or I'm sorry, wax with pigment embedded in it that we rub off onto the paper, it's dried watercolor. Then when we hit with water, we'll turn to paint. So you'll need to grab some water and some brushes as well to work with this. Be right back. And I'm back. Okay, same as regular colored pencil, we can use the watercolor pencil to either mix and create different values. So I'm going to do a little watercolor pencil on the A here, and working with just a single color, my magenta here, right? Kind of working with that warm reds theme, and black and white to create the different values. Or I'm also going to show you on a balloon, mixing with different colors to create that same value. All right, so again, if my light source is coming from here, the front of my A is going to be the lightest. So I'm going to layer down some white watercolor pencil on the face of the A, and then also apply lightly some of my magenta over top of it. And when I go to paint this, this is going to mix and turn into paint. Now I like to put all the color down dry first and then go back with the water. I just find it goes a little bit neater that way. Okay, my exact opposite here and here will probably be my darker. So this time I'm going to layer down the magenta, but I'll put a tiny bit, a light layer of black over top of it. Okay, same thing here. This would probably be pretty dark on the underside. There might be a little bit of light hitting it. A little light black over top, like so. A little light black over top, like so. And like so. And then finally for the middles, we'll leave those just as the true magenta. Now it doesn't look like much yet, but when we take our brush and some water, and we blend, you'll see it's gonna turn into this really nice paint that we can mix together. And it is paint, so you do have to direct where it goes on the surface of the paper. You can't just smear over top of it. You have to treat it like watercolor paint. I do think it's a little bit easier to control than traditional traditional watercolor. But you do have to take your time, go slowly. Now, I think using a smaller brush too also helps with that aspect of control. Okay, let's do our dark now. And that's really dramatic. You can see how quickly that turns to paint and how that color starts to blend together. So really what we've done, right, going back to color theory, we've created tints and shades here, working with the mixed media. And then finally we'll get a blend going just on the spots where it's going to be the middle value. And voila! Okay, we've used that watercolor pencil to create some value. Let's look at mixing different colors together as well, similarly like we did with the other balloons. So we can take two different colors and have them mix and blend as well. Let's say I want to use my red as my dark, and then I'm going to have that fade into a little bit of orange yellow as we get to the lighter side of the balloon, like so. You know, right around the highlights, maybe it gets to that lightest yellow color. We'll put a little yellow in over top of it. Okay, and then just a touch of very light the black just on that shadow side there. Okay, and then same thing, we can take our wet brush and we can turn that watercolor pencil to paint and actually do really beautiful blending and create some really cool value. That looks just terrific, and again, get that sense of this balloon having some shape and form, not being just flat. Okay, when that dries, I can even layer more watercolor pencil over top of it. Okay, join me in the final video segment to talk just a little bit about pattern and what you may want to do with your pattern, okay? And then I'll pause again and we'll get the color done and start talking about backgrounds after that. Okay, so join me in the next video to work with pattern.